How is communism different from socialism? Socialism and communism are political and economic systems that share certain ideologies, including greater equality in the distribution of income. Both oppose capitalism, instead empowering the working class. Public control of the means of production is the goal of communism and socialism, despite the existence of capitalism in some sectors of the economy under socialism. The political systems appear similar in ways, but are not the same. In today's video, we will discuss the key points that distinguish the two political systems and how communism differs from socialism historically. We urge you to stay on this channel and watch until the end. Brief history of communism. Communism is a philosophy based on the equitable distribution of wealth and ownership of all property among citizens. It propagates that means of production, such as agriculture and manufacturing, should be controlled by the working class. Communism dates to the 19th century and introduced by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in their published manifesto. Social inequality was exacerbated by the mechanization of production, according to Marx and Engels. To address the problem, they prescribed a system in which the workers themselves would take control of industry and all branches of production, along with the abolition of private property and the communal ownership of goods. Engels dismissed socialism as a middle-class movement led by social quacks who, by all manner of tinkering, professed to redress without any danger to capital and profit. Was Engels' perception of socialism right? We will find out in a moment. A brief history of socialism. Socialism encompasses a broader spectrum of political beliefs, yet shares communism's emphasis on an equitable distribution of wealth among citizens, as well as a public ownership of the means of production, although not necessarily all of them. Modern socialism emerged during the 19th century as a response to the Industrial Revolution and what many perceived as the excesses of capitalism. Instead of the individualism fostered by a capitalist system, it emphasized the collective good or collectivism. It grew out of ideas about redistribution of wealth developed during the Enlightenment and revolutionary movements of the 18th century. Several early socialists, including Owen, commonly referred to as utopian socialists, established communities based on shared property throughout Europe, Great Britain, and the United States. From the 19th century onwards, socialist principles have exerted an influence on public policy in Great Britain, France, and other nations. These principles were contained in laws aimed at protecting workers' rights, including the right to form trade unions and bargain collectively. Regardless of the similarities between communism and socialism, they are not the same, and the difference between the two systems will be discussed subsequently. Difference between communism and socialism. One key difference between socialism and communism was that socialism generally advocated a more gradual, even voluntary transfer of power from the wealthy to the working class. This is in contrast to modern-day communism, which advocates revolution in the transfer of power to the working class. Seemingly, these two economic systems differ in their objectives as well as their structures of ownership and production. In a socialist economy, the government owns and controls the means of production, and public officials regulate trade, the flow of capital, and other resources. Socialism seeks to bring equality to the means of production to the working class. Communism takes us a step further and revolutionizes both aspects of production and consumption. In that respect, communism can be viewed as a more extreme version of socialism and has been unsuccessful to date. In a nutshell, one key difference between socialism and communism is the approach in which these economic systems might be implemented in our modern-day society. Communism advocates for a violent overthrow of the status quo. Conversely, socialism would result from a gradual internal change as a means to effect change. Do you think communism and socialism are the same? If you enjoyed the video and like to keep the conversation going, you can share your insights in the comments section. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.